Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you? I hope you are enjoying the best of health. I welcome you in my class, that is English for grade 4. We are learning Unit 3. Its title is Heaven on Earth. My dear fellow teachers, this lesson plan, PowerPoint presentation, worksheet links are given. You may click it, download it, follow it as it is, or modify it for your convenience. I'm going to deliver my lecture according to this lesson plan. And my dear children, today under the title of Formal and Lexical Skill, we are going to learn about simple past tense. Before this in English for grade 3, I have already taught you about present tense. I hope you remember. If not, you may watch this video lecture again, and we are going to learn further to identify and use tenses previously learned in speech and writing, and recall, articulate, recognize, and use form of simple, regular, and irregular verbs. These are today's SLOs. Let's start with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah mentions in Quran, Surah Al-Isra, verse 3. O descendants of those we carried with Noah in the ark. He was indeed a grateful servant. Yes, my dear children, this verse is referring to the story of Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam. Do you know this story? If yes, that's wonderful. Otherwise, you should ask your mama, your grandmother, or even your Islamic teacher to tell you about the story of Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam. And what Allah is mentioning over here, the descendant of those we carried with Noah in the ark, and he was who? Hazrat Noah was indeed a grateful person. Now you see, my children, whenever we mention something which has already been happened, we use simple past tense, which Allah has used over here. So how do we make it? We'll learn today. First, you tell me, what do you know about simple present tense? I've taught you in grade 3, remember? So tell me, what do you know about that? And which form of verb we use in simple past tense? Do you remember these things? So pause the video, answer these questions to your teacher. Yes, my dear children, I hope you have answered correctly. Even then, I'm going to revise. First, I'll tell you about simple present tense. So, look at this picture. This is how every one of you have been crawling when you were little. So, this time phase has gone. That's why it's past. Okay? And now you are studying in grade 4. It's your present. And after a few years, when you will be promoted to senior school, you will be like this in your senior classes. This is your future for boys and girls both. So this is how we divide time: past, present, and future. And better the way we say it, like when we are talking about something which has gone, we say it in a specific manner. Like it was when I was young, I was you. This is how we say it. Likewise, in writing, we follow different rules for the appropriate time. And what that time is. Subject, this is this sentence structure: subject, verb, and object. And what is a subject? The one who does the work. And what is verb? The action itself. And what is object? The one who bears the verb on which the verb is done. Now look at this sentence: I eat an apple. I is subject who is doing an action, and what is the action? Eat. And what do I eat? Apple. Now this is subject, this is verb, and this is object. Likewise, if there is an action which is done in routine or habit or timeless or universal, we write the same structure: we offer namaz daily. Now here, we subject, offer verb, and namaz is object. And my dear children, you see, neither we can change the subject and nor we can change the object. This is only the part of sentence which refers to time is verb. This verb tells us about the time. Now, when I'll read this sentence, this offer is first form of verb. So it is telling me which tense it is. It's simple present tense, right? So whenever you use first form of verb and you want to mention, you want to write something which is routine, which is a habitual action, which is a timeless action, or which is a universal statement, we use first form of verb and it refers to simple present tense. You got it? Now, how to make simple past tense? That's very, again, the simple past tense is a form of a verb that indicates what happened or existed before now. That has gone, that has already happened. And the sentence structure is same. Subject, verb, and object. Again, the subject is one who does the verb, and verb is itself the action, and object is on which the action has been done. Now look at this sentence. We offered namaz in masjid. Now you see, I show you one sentence I've shown you. In that I used offer. Here I have used offered. Now this ed, what this is referring to? This is referring to past form of verb, right? It means, now you see, we, subject, the doer of the action is same. Namaz, object is same. What changed? Only this part, which is verb. And because I have used ed, it's showing I have used a past form of verb. That's why it's a simple past tense in which we use second form of verb. Do you understand? This is how we write about the things which has happened. What is the structure? Subject, second form of verb, and then object. Right? Subject, second form of verb, and object. Understand? Okay, so there are a few more examples. How we are going to write? The two boys played with a ball. Okay, now this ed is referring to what? To past. It means they have played. It's gone. If I remove this ed and it becomes the first form of verb, it becomes simple present. This is how simple present tense is we make by using first form of verb, and if we use second form of verb, it becomes simple past tense, and it means this work has been done. This is gone. Understand? All right. The other example is an old lady walked with her cat. Now you know this walked, second form of verb, is telling us it's simple past tense, right? So beta, whenever, usually when we are writing stories, like because we mentioned it was done, so we use simple past tense for stories, all right? So it's time to practice from your book. Let's see what does your book says about it. Simple past tense is a form of verb that shows an action in past. Mostly past form of verb are formed by adding ed at the end. And one thing more, when we add ed to first form of verb and it becomes past form, those type of verbs are known as regular verb, okay? For example, here you see, base form is walk. When I add ed, it becomes walked and it becomes past form of verb. This is mentioned in your book, right? But if my base form is catch and its past form is caught, this is an example of irregular verb. Do you understand? So when you add ed to make past form, it's a regular verb, and when the past form is different from the base form, it is irregular verb, right? So are you clear with the concept? Here is a little activity for you. Are you ready for that? All right. So what the activity is, students are first paired and then teacher will show pictures of different verbs. Okay? A student will tell the verb and the second student from the pair will tell the past form of the same verb. and all the peers will do this activity. I brought few examples which I have mentioned in lesson plan as well. First, you can see those examples, then you can practice, okay? So the first example, for example, if your teacher show you this picture, what is the action in this picture? Is push. And what is the second form of this verb? That's pushed, okay? The next is, what is the action in this picture? It's sit. And what is the second form of this verb? That is sat. Read, read. Okay, be careful. Spellings are same, okay? Run, ran. Sleep, slept. Eat, ate. Stand, stood. And dig, dug. Right? So this is how your teacher is going to show you pictures. You will say the first form and second form of the verb. So pause the video, enjoy this beautiful activity. Yes, my dear children, are you done with it? Very good. So we practice many regular and irregular verbs. So it's time to practice from your book. Read the following table to differentiate between present and past form of the verbs. Okay, so the sentences are same. You see, I see a cloud in the sky. I saw a cloud in the sky. So we know now, it's the first form of verb. It's simple present tense. A second form of the verb is simple past tense. So in this way, you will keep reading and differentiating between these sentences, and you will meanwhile complete the other part as well. You will write the past form of the given verbs in your notebook, and you will fill in the blanks with past tense from the verb given in the brackets. Here is a verb given. You will use its second form to make it past tense for each sentences, and you will also write the past form of irregular verbs in your notebook. So complete all these 4 exercises in your notebook and then come back. Yes, my dear children, are you done with it? Good job, you are smart. All right, so it's time for your homework. Now you will write about the things you did yesterday. And you know, because yesterday has gone, that's why you will use simple past tense in your notebook. And I'm giving you a worksheet, my dear fellow teachers. This worksheet, lesson plan, PowerPoint presentation links are given. You may click it, download it, and kindly provide printed worksheet to students for practice. And my dear children, what you are going to do, here is a word bank, and here are the sentences. You have to use the correct verb to complete these sentences. You have to complete these sentences for simple past tense, and you have to complete these sentences for present tense. So this is how you are going to complete these worksheets. And what we have learned today, we learned the sentence structure as subject, verb, and object. We learned that verb is an action word and it refers to time, present, past, or future. We learned that simple present tense shows an action is done as routine or habit or timeless and universal actions. And we also learned that in simple past tense, we use past form of verb. We also learned that we add d or ed with a regular verb to make its past form, and we recalled, articulate, recognized, and used form of simple regular and irregular verbs. So in this way, we achieved our SLOs to identify and use tense previously learned in speech and writing, and we recall, articulate, and recognized and use form of simple, regular, and irregular verbs. Yes, my dear children, are we done with it? Yes, so that's it for today. Tomorrow I'll come again with a very interesting lesson. Till that time, keep learning, keep practicing. Take very good care of yourself and the people around you. Thank you, and Allah Hafiz.